Hello everyone, back with, I think it's part 6 of my recent watches. Obviously I'll double check before I upload this and put the right title down. Yeah, so I've watched, 8 films in the last week. So yeah, I did remember to check this time, and it's been a week since I did the last upload. Recording this on Monday. Record this, and then I've sort of got some things to do later on. Don't think. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it onto the live stream of the movie Loons, but just thought I'd plug it. Let me move over so I'm a bit more in the centre. That's better. Yeah, so I thought I'd just give it a plug. So 7:30 tonight on Ollie's channel. Ollie loves film. Put the link in that in the description. I think Sammy's on it. I think Roy, Ollie. I think there's some special guests, and then yeah, I've got to do some social things. But if I'm done in time, then I'll try and jump onto the stream. I will give one clue. Obviously, if anyone can see, there's a little gap up there. It's one of the things I've watched in the pile. I mentioned it before, but one Josh sent me from Joshua Fulci fan. Is it 1014? I always forget people's numbers after the name. Sorry. Right, let me get on with it before I waffle on too much. So, first thing I watched this week was The Brood. So I received this a week early. I've done an unboxing video. I showed it on a pickups video. So yes, the third time I'm talking about this. So sorry everybody if you're bored of the Second Sight Films David Cronenberg releases. When I did record mine, I obviously gave Nicky from Skin Crawlers a shout out on his video. Mentioned that Sammy had ordered it and he should be getting it soon from Sammy G's World of Cinema. Sam has now got his and he's uploaded a video. Really good, sort of more professional and concise, I would say, than mine, where everybody knows I ramble on and go off on tangents. Where yeah, Sammy shows a lot more of the booklet and things than I do. So yeah, go and check out Sammy's video. Let me move a little bit forward. Yes, really good one. I'll link it again. Anybody I mention, I always try and link them down in the description. So yeah, watch this. I got it, received it on the Monday. Got home from work at like 11:30 at night and watched this one. And yeah, it's been like, I don't know, maybe 12 years or so since I previously watched it, and that was on the DVD version. So not only a better film than I remembered, I always liked it and thought it was one of Cronenberg's better. I think I said in the unboxing or the pickups that it was my sort of top 3, top 5. Yeah, since rewatching it, it's definitely in my top 3. So yeah, Videodrome, The Fly, and then this one. Like I've said a lot of times, I think The Fly is his best made film. But yeah, in terms of favourite for my kind of taste and weirdness and that, yeah, I think Videodrome's my favourite. Yeah, really good acting from Oliver Reed. Good acting all around. 79, but it does have like a sort of 70s feel to it. Yeah, really good print. Obviously, I never watched it on Blu-ray. I've only watched the old DVD, so hard to say how much better it is. You know, how much better an upgrade this 4K is than what the Blu-ray was. Some quite shocking scenes. Don't really want to go into spoilers, but yeah, there's quite a bit of body horror. I think Cronenberg was not started filming, but got all the cast and things together to do Scanners, which, yeah, he was doing Scanners first. Going to really start, I think, in 79, whereas obviously Scanners came out 81. And then I think his wife got pregnant. I'm not sure if it was with Brandon Cronenberg, his son, who's obviously a director as well. Makes Infinity Pool and things, if anybody knows of him. But yeah, when I was watching the extras on Scanners, it does say he sort of was going to start filming Scanners, and then because his wife was pregnant, this gave him the sort of idea to do The Brood. So I think Scanners got put on hold for a couple of years whilst he made The Brood. Yeah, obviously you could kind of tell by the name The Brood it has something to do with like evil children and things. But yeah, still stands up really well today. And yeah, I think it's one of his best made films. But yeah, also got some quite good gore and yeah, quite horrifying. Like Sammy said on his unboxing, it's kind of set in the snow in like a winter lodge retreat. All the actors are good, but yeah, Oliver Reed really great in it. Yeah, like I say, a few shocking moments. So yeah, that was the first one I watched. I've already, like I said, I spoke about it in a few videos, so I won't bang on about it too long. And then you've got this Dead Sushi. I'll show you the back. Some squids like twisting this guy's face. Yeah, an insane film, entertaining, quite funny sort of comedy, not just physical comedy with the things that are happening. I'll read you the back of it. Cult Japanese film director Noboru Iguchi, who did The Machine Girl, Robo Geisha, and the one segment from the ABCs of Death, can't remember which segment, returns with this madcap and macabre comedy horror filled with awesome special effects and full-on fight sequences. Kaiko, played by Raina Takeda, a cute female trainee sushi chef, finds her kung fu skills are called upon when some infected flying sushi starts to bite back. As the flesh-hungry man eating sashimi springs to life with savage teeth, will Kyoko be able to save a group of businessmen from the unrelenting terror of the killer fish dishes? So yeah, as batshit as it sounds, I think the guy, he's like a bit of a magician, and he puts a curse on the sushi to bring it all to life to attack people. But yeah, there's bits with sushi flying around with teeth, bits where on that bit, kind of when you look on the back, it looks like the squid is sort of twisting his face, but it actually shoots through his cheek out the other side and impales him. As you can see on the front, there's some sushi with sharp teeth. Yeah, it's kind of quite a martial arts film, really, with sort of gore. There is a bit of CGI in it, some CGI blood and some CGI sushi, which doesn't look great, but there are practical effects as well. Yeah, some funny dialogue, 92 minutes. Contains sexualized nudity and comic bloody violence, it says on the back. But yeah, I mean, kind of tell from the front of it. It's not only weird, but yeah, it's just a insane kind of original idea. You know, I think a lot of the time nowadays, especially Hollywood, they're all doing prequels, sequels, remakes, reboots, rip off an idea from an old film and change 1% of it and pretend it's something original. But yeah, this is genuinely original. Obviously, it's a martial arts sort of genre film with, yeah, I wouldn't really say it, well, it's kind of horror, but yeah, it's a bit more like Evil Dead 2, where it's like a slapstick kind of horror. Does come with a few extras. Yeah, I've got this on DVD. You can get it on Blu-ray, but when I was talking to Marcus from Xfile 2708 on the group, and Ash from Popcorn and Horror kind of said I thought it would be up their street. Marcus looked on CEX. I think this one sells for £12 on DVD, so it's out of print, and the Blu-ray sells for £18. So yeah, I would like to get the Blu-ray, but yeah, I'm not going to be paying £18 for it. But yeah, real funny, entertaining one. After something a bit light-hearted and silly, I thought I'd go for something a bit more, what's the word? Poignant. So yeah, you've got American History X. So yeah, this is one of my favourite films, directed by Tony Kaye. I think he did that 187 that I showed a little while ago with Samuel L. Jackson in it. Really powerful performances by Edward Norton, Edward Furlong, music by Anne Dudley. Does it tell me who the rest of the cast are? No, it's got what's his name? Stacy Keach, which is in another film I'm going to show on here. I'll read you the back of it. Derek Vinyard is dangerous, a coiled fury of hate who leads a neo-Nazi gang, but time and events start to change him. He reassesses his ways while doing time for manslaughter and emerges from prison eager to keep his younger brother, played by Edward Furlong, from falling victim to the thug cycle of violence and payback. It may be too late. Weaving in and out of events past and present in Derek's life, American History X is revealing in its look at white supremacist gangs and impassioned in its message that hatred and bigotry can be unlearned. Edward Norton from Fight Club and Pride and Glory portrays Derek, given a powerful, persuasive, Oscar-nominated performance. So yeah, I mean, it's powerful because, well, I wouldn't say it's relatable, but, you know, it's a real life thing. So, you know, I've seen other powerful films with drama that are kind of things I can't really put myself in the shoes or have empathy, whereas, yeah, I've known racists, I'm not going to lie, I've not known white supremacists. Obviously, if I did, I wouldn't be friends with them, but yeah, you've all heard stories, and obviously people have been victimised for years and years. I mean, Edward Norton in this not only gives a good performance, but I don't know if you can really see him in there with the basketball, but he does actually look the part once he's got his head shaved and all his tattoos and he's quite sort of ripped. He does actually look quite menacing. Whereas in Fight Club, Red Dragon, some of his other films, yeah, I'd say he kind of looks like an average guy. But in this, yeah, the way he sort of what's the word, aesthetics, yeah, he does actually not just come across as like a white supremacist, but he does actually look tough. Whereas Edward Furlong, if you can see him there, yeah, he's got his head shaved and that, but he just looks like a skinny little teenage kid. Whereas, yeah, Edward Furlong is genuinely imposing, quite hard hitting, quite a lot of gore. I say gore, violence, I say, sorry, rather than gore. Obviously, there's a curb scene, sure everybody knows about. I won't spoil it, but a really good twist ending. But yeah, this will kind of make you think after you watch it. Yeah, for me, it's Edward Norton's best performance and the best film he's in. Well, maybe not the best film. I think maybe Fight Club is a better film than this, but I think he's got a better performance in this than he has in Fight Club. Sure, everybody's seen American History X. If you haven't, I would highly recommend. Wouldn't really say it's disturbing, but yeah, like I say, it's hard hitting. Got them in the right order. Coincidentally, I didn't try to watch them in that order, but yeah, Stacy Keach, who played the, what would you call it, the recruiter for the white supremacists, is also in this. He does have a very small role. Also has Jake Busey, who probably is more insane than Gary Busey. I think Gary Busey is his dad. There he is there, if you can see him. Jake Busey, and there's Stacy Keach. Yeah, he does look a lot like his dad, has similar acting, really kind of off the wall crazy. He's not a bad actor, but it's all kind of, yeah, a bit overacted with like silly faces. Like I say, Stacy Keach is barely in it. Yeah, I had high hopes for this one. I thought it was going to be a bit like Session 9, or a bit like of a sort of slow burn. I've showed it in my pickups, but I don't think I read the back of it, so I'll read it quickly now. Several years ago, a bloody riot of epic proportion ravaged the corridors of the Isla del Roca penitentiary, resulting in the gruesome death of both inmates and guards alike. Now condemned, the prison serves as nothing more than a shattered relic of archaic brutality, a chilling reminder of man's morbid and murderous nature. Seeking to explore the violent history of the uprising, a naive crew of filmmakers invaded a decaying penitentiary, only to discover that a band of fugitives has taken refuge inside the empty jailhouse. Fearful for their lives, the filmmakers soon discover what the convicts may be. Oh, sorry, it's a bit of dirt on that, blocking the word. Where was I? Discover that the convicts may be the least of their problems, and that the victims of that fatal riot may still haunt the prison walls. Only 86 minutes, directed by Kevin Van Hook. Can't really say I've heard of him. It is an Anchor Bay. Some of the old Anchor Bays have it on the side. I guess they're more collectible, whereas, yeah, it's only sort of got it on there. Released by Stars Media. I haven't took the stickers off yet, but yeah, it was entertaining. I wouldn't say it was boring, but yeah, it wasn't very well made. I think, unlike Session 9 that goes through the slow burn, this kind of tries to show too much, but the budget doesn't really enable them to show it well. It's got some quite bad CGI, gore, quite silly bits. Quite a lot of it didn't really make sense. The acting, by especially the extras, quite sort of amateurish. Good setting in this sort of penitentiary, although yeah, I don't know if it was recorded in a real sort of abandoned derelict, should I say, penitentiary, or whether it was a set built, whereas Session 9 is recorded in the Danvers State Mental Hospital. I think it's in Massachusetts, which was a real building, huge building, and they record it on set, so it's sort of authentic. Whereas, yeah, I'm not 100% on this. I didn't think it had any. Oh, it does have some special features, but I didn't bother watching them. Yeah, probably one I wouldn't watch again. If Session 9 is 9 out of 10, this is Session 1. Put that to one side. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. But at the same time, not the worst film I've seen. Probably the worst from this batch, actually, to be fair. I'll try and remember to rank the top 3, because I always say I will in the other videos and forget. Talking of 3, we've got 3 Extremes, Part 2. So yeah, not as good as 3 Extremes Part 1. 3 Extremes Part 1 has The Short of Dumplings on, which is one of my favourites from the Tartan Asia. The directors are Kim Ji-woon, sure everybody knows. Put his name first on there because I guess he's the biggest draw. So he did Tale of Two Sisters, I Saw the Devil, The Good, the Bad and the Weird. A few others I'm forgetting at the moment, but yeah, quite an eclectic and varied director, although he usually has some quite sort of strong violence in his films. Then you've got Nonzi Nimibutter, I guess it said, and Peter Ho Sun Chan. Can't really say I've heard of the other two. I don't think they've had any other releases on the Tartan Asia Extreme. I'll read the back to you because, yeah, there is 3 sort of, I'd say short stories. They're 40 minutes each. Yeah, the running time's 122 minutes. So 3 more nightmares from the masters of Asian horror. From the hugely talented director of A Tale of Two Sisters comes Memories. A woman wanders the streets after having forgotten her own name, whilst her husband struggles to remember why she left in the first place. With the discovery of a dead body in the husband's car, it's not long before the truth begins to rear its ugly head. So a bit like Tale of Two Sisters, if people have seen that. It's a bit of a mystery that kind of unravels as it goes along. Quite a slow one. I'd probably say it's not bad, but it's probably my least favourite I've seen so far by Kim Ji-woon. And considering it's only 40 minutes, I wouldn't say it dragged, but yeah, it's not as entertaining as I Saw the Devil or Tale of Two Sisters, for example. And then the second part is called The Wheel. So in The Wheel, a group of puppets terrorise a village, causing pain and death at every turn. When the leader of a theatrical troupe tries to destroy them, without much success, others begin to steal them, leading to inevitable tragedy. Yeah, it was quite good. Not as good as it sounds, I thought it'd be like a crazy circus troupe coming and doing violence, but it's kind of more, some people get hold of the puppets and they're a bit like voodoo dolls, and if you hurt the puppets, it hurts other people. And then finally, in Going Home, a policeman, W-A-I, sorry, my Cantonese, I think that name is, blunders into the apartment of a man who has been caring for his dead wife for the past 3 years. It transpires that the man is intent on resurrecting his lost love, and Y is forced to befriend him if he is to have any chance of escaping alive. So yeah, I think the third part, Going Home, was the best, which I was quite surprised because I was expecting it to be Memories, just because it's by Kim Ji-woon, who is one of my favourite. Is he Korean? Yeah, favourite Korean directors. I mean, yeah, I'd probably have to watch it again because I was quite tired. I watched this late at night and I was struggling not to focus on it, but to kind of absorb what was going on, really. I kind of found that a bit in Tale of Two Sisters, but it kind of works. Like I say, it's a mystery. Whereas, yeah, in this one, I was sort of struggling to take it in. Part 2, again, was interesting, but didn't blow me away. So I thought maybe it's just because I was a bit tired. But when I got to part 3, which is 80 minutes in, the last segment, I found that a lot more entertaining, a lot more interesting. So yeah, it wasn't really because I was tired. I find with some Kim Ji-woon, especially Tale of Two Sisters, it's better on the second viewing, where it's not so much where you know what's going to happen, but the story kind of makes more sense as it's going along, whereas sometimes I'll be questioning myself, like, am I stupid and not really understanding this, or is it meant to be that kind of a film? But yeah, Going Home, which is done by Peter Ho Sun Chan, so I'm going to look into if he's got any other films. Yeah, that was by far the best segment for me. Quite a mystery, some quite sort of shocking moments. Yeah, I can't really say too much without spoiling it, but yeah, I'd say I enjoyed that one the most. Just for context, Three Extremes Part 1 is directed by Park Chan-wook, Miike Takashi, and Fruit Chan, so 3 more sort of well-known directors. And yeah, you've got Dumplings, Cut, and Box, and I thought all 3 of those were better than anything on this. But like I say, Going Home, the third segment, was the strongest. I think in my weekly watches, recent watches, whatever you call them now, I'm trying to get a world cinema, foreign, but especially sort of Asian cinema in each week. So I have actually watched 3 this week. But yeah, obviously I enjoy world cinema, but rather than just watch all English language, I think it sort of gives me a bit more culture, like Yakult. So yeah, that was an interesting one, but yeah, a bit of a disappointment compared to Three Extremes Part 1. So anybody thinking of sort of buying one of those, I would much more recommend Part 1 than Part 2. And then this is the one sent to me by Joshua Fulci Fan 1014, The House on Sorority Row, which is one I'd heard of, heard it was really good, but never seen it over the years. Did send me the VHS. Obviously a little note, which I won't read out. I did sort of show this on a pickup, and then actually burned it onto a disc for me so I can watch it without having to wear out the VHS tape, which is much appreciated, Joshua, thank you. yeah, it was really not well. I wouldn't say surprised how good this is because I think when I showed a picture of it on the WhatsApp group of the movie loom, Stuart George said he's got it. He showed the Blu-ray and said it was really good. I think is it Mark from uh, Bushman Blue, or it might have been VWHS Forever, said it was one of their favourites and they really enjoy it. But yeah, it's really good acting all around, good music, it's quite sort of gruesome murder. Yeah, I'd say it's one of the better slashers I've seen. So yeah, it came out in 1982. This is the Palace Explosive Video version. Really nice collectible. Proud to have this, not only in my collection, but usually goes up on there with the other Palace Explosive, Night of the Zombies, and Zombie Flesh Eaters. So yeah, it looks good displayed, and obviously like to have it in the background up there for people to see. I'll read you the synopsis. This suspense horror film focuses on the accidental murder of an old woman and the subsequent murders of the sorority sisters who did it. Someone has seen them. Someone who wants revenge is stalking them one by one in a methodical orgy of gruesome murder. And then it's got a quote saying "harrowing chills" by the Hollywood Reporter. So yeah, crazy. I really took this long to get around to this. I think there is a lot of sorority house slashers. I've seen a few over the years. Obviously, a recent one is Slaughterhouse, which is a kind of comedy version of it where a pet sloth, a house mascot, is doing the killing rather than like a person. But yeah, there's a good twist in it. Really good acting. The girls in it are believable. I say girls, they're women, really. Some of them look like mid-20s. I don't know how old the sorority girls are meant to be. Yeah, good special effects. But yeah, they're believable. They don't always make stupid decisions and things. But yeah, the way it unravels and that. Yeah, I'd say after The Burning, maybe one of my favourite slashers. Oh, well, Halloween. But Halloween, I'd say, is more of a sort of classic slasher. Whereas in terms of these kind of camp or sorority, sort of teen slashers of the 80s, yeah, I think other than The Burning, this is probably my next favourite since watching this. So yeah, crazy it took so long. I'm not sure if it's hard to get on like Blu-ray or DVD. I've never really seen it around in the shops. But yeah, I was really impressed with that one. House on Sorority Row. Next, you've got another World Cinema, a Japanese one. So this is one I spoke about in the pickups. I thought it was a different film called, let me straighten out the cover. This one keeps on, I think I said when I showed them in the pickups, but since it's got this little sort of bit on the spine, it just keeps on moving around. I don't want it to damage the little sleeve. Yeah, so I thought I was getting one called Girl Hell 1999, which is kind of crazy, like, gory slasher film. Whereas, yeah, kind of got the wrong film, but still really good. So it's from 1977, really well made, amazing, really good music. I think it's kind of missold a bit on this Pink label where they're kind of trying to say it's like a softcore porn kind of thing, whereas it didn't really have much. It's got nudity, but not more than like a lot of film. I mean, it wasn't as graphic in the nudity. Without being too vulgar, it's kind of got full frontal nudity, but without sort of showing everything. Whereas in Erotic Ghost Story Part 1, it really shows it's a lot more pornographic. Yeah, I'd say the sex scenes probably aren't even as intense and raunchy as the sex scene between Julie Christie and Donald Sutherland in Don't Look Now. It's not really that intense. Yeah, you don't really see everything, but it is quite sort of surreal, quite horror-based. It's quite disturbing scenes without going into it too much. There's like forced abortion and things like that. That shows you in quite detail. So yeah, I'd say it's more of a kind of horror. Kind of more like a Miike Takashi kind of film, where yeah, there is sex in it, but it's not just a sex film with added content. I think it's a surrealist kind of nightmare film, a bit like a David Lynch kind of one, but with sex scenes in. But yeah, they're not like massively graphic and over the top. So yeah, I think it really could have came out on the 88 Films Japaniki label. I mean, this is better made than a lot of the sort of renowned Japanese, like infamous films I've seen. Yeah, good acting. I find it harder to tell, if you watch a British or American film, or English language film, and they've got like cheesy acting, it's kind of easier to tell. Whereas when I watch a foreign film like Japanese, because I don't know the way it's hard to explain, but unless you know the language and stuff, it's hard to tell if people are like delivering the dialogue badly, or if they're saying it in a cheesy voice, or if that's just the way, it's harder to tell if they're overacting and things, because I'm reading the subtitles, and although I can hear the dialogue, I find it harder with, French films, German, anything, to kind of tell, if you watch some like Troll 2, the way he says, the guy overacts and he's like, oh my god, they're gonna kill her or something, you can just tell it's like bad acting. Whereas I do find it harder to tell how amateur or professional the acting is with foreign films. But I was quite pleasantly surprised, expecting to watch it and it be a kind of boring softcore pornography film with not much else going on, but no, it's actually good. And like I say, kind of missold on this pink label. I think it could have been on the Japaniki label, but hopefully 88 Films will release Girl Hell 1999. Strange, there's two films with such a similar title that are both Japanese and both kind of graphic sort of films. That was the third sort of I say Japanese, Asian sort of world cinema films. And then I'm sure everybody expected me to be watching this, being as I picked them both up and watched The Brood. Is the 4K of Scanners by David Cronenberg. First time I've watched this in about 15 years. Enjoyed it when I last watched it, but I wasn't blown away by it. I didn't think it was a badly made film. Well, I didn't even think it was boring, but just wasn't, up there with Videodrome and The Fly and The Brood and even A History of Violence, even Dead Ringers and a few that I preferred. Since rewatching it, not only obviously it looks better in this 4K, but I found the film a lot more interesting. From when I watched it before, all I could really remember, I guess it's not really a spoiler to say, is the sort of head exploding scene, a bit when they're sort of in the Mall, or whatever you call it, let's say shopping centre. I can only remember some bits of it, whereas, there is a lot more going on. There's a lot more depth. What's his name? Patrick McGoogan. It's really good in this. The main guy in it, see if I can find his name, Stephen Lack. I think this might be the only film he did. On the extras, he's saying that he's basically an artist. Really strange guy when you see him on the extras. He's got a really sort of weird outlook on the world. It's more of a sci-fi film than a horror, really. It does have some quite high concepts, some really good special effects, without spoiling it, the bit near the end when the scanners are kind of fighting each other and all the veins are like inflating on their faces. Really well done. Really well shot. Good cinematography. Really good music. I can kind of see what Sammy said. It's kind of a bit of a precursor, not in terms of story, but in terms of sort of style and mood to Blade Runner. I can kind of see it's more of like a grounded sci-fi that I wouldn't say so much as believable, but unlike say Star Wars, where it's set in like a galaxy far, far away, it's kind of on Earth and a bit more grounded. What's his name? Michael Ironside, really good in this. I don't think I've seen too many films of Michael Ironside, but when these scanning people, the face he's making is really intense. A bit when they go into like, what's it called? It's basically an artist who's a scanner, and he goes to visit him, and he's got all these massive sculptures, and the art pieces he's created. There's this one head like the size of this room, and the neck's hollowed out with like sofas and stuff inside, and some of the art just looked really good. There's a guy, I don't know his name on here, should have he's more of an extra, but he seems to pop up in all of Cronenberg's films, or a lot from this time. So he was in The Brood, I'm pretty sure he was in Videodrome, he's in this one. Always plays like a weird character, but with really good acting. He's kind of got like a sort of comb over, sort of long hair all grown on one side, and he kind of combs it over. I don't know if he just does it for these films or if he had it in real life, but sort of noticing him cropping up in a lot of Cronenberg films. And even though he plays an extra, his characters are always really interesting, and his acting is really different in each film. So I'd be interested. I will research after this his name. Be interested to see if he's ever had a bit more of a lead role or even been a lead in a film, because he was really good, that guy. I think he always wears like a tracksuit kind of thing as well, like a sweatsuit, I guess they call it in America. But still don't know if it'd be in my top 5, but gone up in my estimations, not just since watching it in 4K, but just had a bit more going on than I remembered. Good acting and things all round. Obviously really heavy sort of Cronenberg style, but with a bit more of a sci-fi I wouldn't say like a noir kind of, but yeah, it's kind of dark, and the way it's lit and the world is quite like a bleak kind of place. Whereas obviously a lot of sci-fi would be set in the future. Um, Came out 1981, I'm pretty sure. So like I said, they were filming. Um, no, sorry, 1980. But yeah, they were filming this and then sort of put it on the back burner to film The Brood. Um, yeah, I did a David Cronenberg ranking on my channel maybe a year ago. I think Scanners was quite low down. I think I've got about, say, 15 Cronenberg films. I think this is about 10th or so. Whereas, yeah, now maybe it would go up to like 5th or 6th since rewatching this version of it. But yeah, sort of gone up in my estimations, but still not a favourite. I know a few people that aren't too big a fan of that, but I can kind of see why. But yeah, if you haven't watched it in years, maybe give it a rewatch. Your opinion might have changed, especially on this sort of 4K version. Whereas yeah, before I had the 3-disc DVD box set, which I traded in because yeah, part 2 and 3 I can't remember being any good, and they're not directed by Cronenberg. Remember when I was younger, I'm guessing it was like a B-movie rip-off, but they had a series of films called Scanner Cops, which is obviously taking the idea of Scanner. I don't think that was written, or it obviously wasn't directed by Cronenberg. I don't think it was written by anyone or had any sort of similarities. I guess it's just one of those kind of not a rip-off as such. I haven't seen them, so I can't say if it's good. But yeah, when I was younger, I always thought it was like part of the series of Scanners. I think there was Scanners Cops 1 to 3. But yeah, I don't think it's anything to do with it, to tell you the truth. So yeah, it's everything I've watched this week. I'll link everybody down below. I'll be back. I mean, usually I do it every 10 days or so, 11 days to 2 weeks. Whereas yeah, this one I have managed to do it in a week. Yes, I'll be back with another one of those. Haven't been able to go into shops and do many pickups, where obviously I've spent a lot this month and had a lot of pre-orders. Whereas yeah, this Friday I'm planning on HMV in Bristol has been closed for a whole of March pretty much for a refit, and it's reopening, so I'm going to go in there, pick up a few things, hoping to get the Substance 4K. So yeah, I'll be back Friday or Saturday or so. I should be able to record it with a new video, and then go into charity shop hunting with Ollie from Ollie Loves Film. So hopefully find a few golden gems in the charity shops. But yeah, be back 5 days or so with another video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.